Hello viewers, thank you for joining us in your favorite English news magazine. I'm speaking to you from your mother channel TVT. Ladies and gentlemen, even and once again, welcome. Togo celebrated its 63rd independence, an opportunity for the country to go through realizations along the years. Today's topic will lead us to independence of African countries, case of Togo. And I'm in studio with my guest, Awoessoh. You welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Anglais.
Yes. Can you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Okay, for those who are new viewers, I'm Awoessoh, an expert translator, interpreter, and also city councillor in Gulf 5. I'm a teacher too. Yeah.
Okay. But before coming to the topic, news at present, I will come back to you in a moment.
Thank you.
63rd anniversary, an occasion for the head of state for Awoessoh to address the nation through a special interview. Many topics were on national issues were mentioned. Let's watch.
After the military and civilian parade that marked the 63rd anniversary celebration of Togo's ascension to independence, the Togolese head of state for Awoessoh exchanged with the press. The question of security was touched, with the head of state extending his gratitude to the military. He called on citizens to be responsible during the forthcoming regional as well as legislative elections. For Awoessoh declared all will be set for students in zones affected by terrorism to take part in their end-of-cycle examinations in peace. He made mention of measures taken to protect the civilian populations in these zones. For Awoessoh underlined policies and measures adopted to face challenges brought about by the global crisis. He saluted the commitment of all sets of citizens and their endeavor for the best of our country, Togo.
27th April 1960 and 27 April 2023, 63 years since Togo is independent, and independence celebrated this Thursday, a celebration presided over by the head of state for Awoessoh. Before coming to the ceremony, I propose you follow his arrival at the parade grounds. After his arrival on the celebration site, the head of state for Awoessoh Singbe launched the military parade that marked the 63rd anniversary of Togo independence with Awoessoh.
After the arrival of the head of state and the necessary military honors and the parade commander's request from the president and his approval to begin the parade, all started with the national flag and the coat of arms, the mounted police, the military band, and the gendarmerie. The Air Force followed with the airborne parade and those in charge of the protection of the country's area space. The National Marine, the Naval Force followed with the symbol of loyalty to their head of state. Other military contingents marched, the Presidential Guards and the Commando Parachutist units. Motorized and armored parade was followed by military schools and institutions.
Now the paramilitary parade still with Awoessoh.
The paramilitary followed with various units of the National Police, the National Police Criminal Police, and those in charge of the National Police Intervention Group. The police was created in 1920, according to information for internal security. They were followed by the National Revenue Office with the Customs and Excise Services for the financial strength of our country. They then were also followed suit by the National Forestry and Water Bodies Protection. The prisons were not left out of the parade. They marched to add to the celebration of the 63rd anniversary of our dear country, Togo.
Back to the studio. I know, Mr. Donatien, that you are a city councillor. Tell us a little bit about how you celebrate this 63rd anniversary of independence.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Anglais, for the question. You said it right. I'm a city councillor by the side of God 5. And by our side, we gathered in the afternoon. You can remember that on that very day, it has rained. And the rain has disturbed things, but instead of going at home, we stay there and we watch traditional dances, traditional songs, and we talk about our country, Togo. We commemorate by our sides the way we can do it also in the side at the side of God 5. Yes. We do it at the house of youths at Amada Home. I know you know over there, Maison des Jeunes, Amada Home. That's the place where we gather on that very day.
Yes, and 63rd years after independence, what can you say about it, this celebration this year?
Yeah, the celebration this year has been, amazing because of the technology, new technology that our authorities are putting into account. Every year, things are changing because in some former years, we can remind that things were not going well as such. But this year, the image were very clear, the commentary good, and especially I greet those with red hats. I'm talking about Beret Rouge. We like them, the way they used to march, and also green, the green one, the way they change the music and the tendency when they reach over there. We all know that the rhythm has changed. So we like what has been settled on this 63rd year of independence of Togo.
Okay, thank you. I'll be back to you in a moment.
Thank you.
Many activities mark this 63rd years anniversary of Togo. The head of state proceed to many inaugurations. The summary with Awoessoh.
Market not yet in use handed over to men and women traders of the city of Kara for their daily commercial activities, an infrastructure that replaced the former one burnt down by fire. Sword cutting was led by the head of state for Awoessoh Singbe and market women. The officer of the Koza district, Colonel Bakali, in an address, welcomed the head of state and guests present. The Minister of Commerce on his side expressed his gratitude to the head of state before pointing out that agriculture producers will no more have trouble selling their products. The main Kara market is a 3-story building on 5 hectares, sharing 736 individual stores, 72 shops, 8 wholesale shops, a police station, a lift, 6 jet water outlets, and provisions for banks and insurance companies. In the educational sector, the cornerstone for the building of the Kara University was laid by the head of state for Awoessoh, a vision of the president as an answer to the increasing number of admissions recorded at the beginning of every academic year. Those who intervened during this ceremony thanked the head of state for the initiative that fell within his visions of the modernization of higher education institutions. The Kara University has on its roll today 20,608 students, out of which 7,005 girls. With the new buildings and modern infrastructures, they hope to reach 30,000 admissions by year 2030 on the Kara University campus. Dr. Lafia, a health institute by excellence, was the last infrastructure inaugurated by the head of state for Awoessoh to mark the 63rd anniversary celebration of Togo's accession to independence. This referential Dr. Alafia Hospital was built and equipped by the Togo Social Security Services. The director of the institution, Ingrid Awade, thanked the President of the Republic before expressing her gratitude to donors and the medical team working at this hospital. Dr. Lafia is a health institution that specializes in X-ray, imagery, and mammography. It has a called-up capital of 25.01 billion CFA francs and an admission capacity of 80,000 patients.
Back to studio with our guest once again. You're welcome, Mr. Donatien.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Glade.
Yes, like I said earlier, today's topic is independence of African countries, the case of Togo. Can you tell us how can we explain the concepts of independence?
Yeah, you said it's right. Independence, a slight definition of these concepts, is the facts or the state of a person not to be dependent on someone or doing things by his own without having order to receive by the right or receive the order by the left. So saying that someone is independent, the person is autonomous without depending on someone. That's what I can say about the concept of independence.
Yes. And how to recognize an independent country?
Yeah, the first thing to recognize for an independent country is the seats at UN. If a country is independent, the country got a seat at UN. I'm talking about United Nations. We got a seat over there. And after that, we got our flag, our national anthem, our military, our lands, our borders. I can say our language. The reason why we used to say that we're not quite or totally independent. Our financial device. I'm talking about money, the way we should, even our education. Our education should not be, copied on other education, because here we much more copying things from France. I'm not saying a bad thing, because we copy much things. It's now that our authorities are reflecting to have a difference between our own education and education from France, and also thanks to the Commonwealth, our minds of doing things or our way of doing things has changed a little bit.
Yes, coming back to what you just said earlier, totally independent.
Yeah.
Togo is not, or African country.
Of course.
African countries are not yet totally independent, because we depend a little bit yes.
Yeah.
But in the case of language, currencies, and yes, and what can you say about this?
Yeah, I may say it's not all African countries that are now independent totally like this. I'm focusing myself on French-speaking countries, because yes, the direct and indirect rule that we have studied in history and geography let us know that for French-speaking countries, colonizers were here and they were controlling things. What they decide is what we do. But for English or Anglo-Saxon countries, kings in that period, chiefs and kings ruled the countries, and the colonizers from time to time, they come to see whether things are going good or bad. That's, I mean, the main also of Commonwealth, most of English-speaking countries. But I remind people that it's not every country is inside Commonwealth that is English-speaking country. Yes, we got a case of Togo inside Gabon.
Yes.
So that's it.
And how was the struggle of the founding fathers to snatch Togo's independence, coming back to Togo?
Yeah, let me pay tribute to those who fought in that very year, because when we talk about independence, some persons fought. I'm not a historian because I'm not a PhD in history, but I've learned things. And my own father, who is right now following us in prefecture of Yoto, also fought in that period. He works for a person called Agostinho de Souza. And this Agostinho de Souza was the main financier, I can say, the person who used to give much more money in that period. He's the owner of much coconut trees by the side of by the seaside. And my father picked also coconuts for him. So we got many persons. It's not only Sibadis Olympio who fought. It's because he has been the first prime minister. The reason why we used to call his name. Many persons fought, especially Agrit women. Women fought to have independence of Togo. They started since the year 1950. There has been a great demonstration in Lomé here in the year 1955. This shows French people that things will not be like the way things were before, and they react to let the country have his election.
And why are we talking about April 27th April 1960 and 1958?
Okay, historian, and we also here, we know that the real year of independence of Togo is 1958. And the proclamation or the announcing of that independence has been 2 years after. Why 2 years after? That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to recall, because I'm not teaching anyone, because we all know it. In the country, in that moment, we don't have, I'm talking about we, Togolese, we don't have any kind of building, even roads, infrastructures, we didn't have this. So the first authorities at that moment, especially Sylvanus Olympio and others, thought if we did it like the way Sékou Touré did it by chasing out French people, and all French people and clerks left the country, we'll be having problems. So let us go with them slowly. So during 2 years, a big building has been built that we called Hôtel Le Bénin. Le Bénin is not the real pronunciation, it's Le Bénin in Awoessoh language, saying that take care of it, because we didn't have any kind of building. After that, we got the monument to be revealed also was built within these 2 moments. Roads have been shaped, some schools have been built. So during the 2 years, we prepare ourselves to declare the independence. Reason why we used to say April 27 of 1960 instead of 1958.
But why they don't consider the 1958 as the independence day, to take it as the real year of Togo's independence?
It's like also we got a naming ceremony. I guess many persons here know what we call naming ceremony. If a child was born, I mean, it's 7 or 8 days. Some people may give 15 days before showing that baby to the population. So we were preparing ourselves to get ready. It's like a lady who used to get to the bathroom and spent 2 years to get clean before showing herself to people, being pretty and beautiful.
Thank you very much for your clarification.
You're welcome.
And can you summarize something for me, because time is against us, a wish to our dear country and your last word?
Yeah, my wish to our dear nation here is to see this nation, our dear nation Togo, in the coming years becoming more fruitful instead of welfare and well-being of population. What I need is the real peace. I'm talking about real peace. Where we say peace is not the absence of war, but peace is also a mental situation. We need to be in welfare in Togo. And my last word is to call upon all Togolese to get to the electoral census, because electoral census has started today. I call upon every Togolese to get there and to receive his voters' cards in order to express him or herself when the time will come. Dear Togolese, I love you.
Thank you, Mr. Donatien. Thank you for coming and discussing about this topic, independence, with us. And thank you for your clarification. And I wish we can come further in Togo's issues, Togo's matters. Thank you very much. Yeah. We are at the end of our program. Let me recall you that today's topic is independence of African countries, the case of Togo. And thank you for being with us. Keep on watching TVT, our TV channel. Goodbye.